Okay, thank you for coming back for our last session. This is the last chance that we get to all be together. Did everybody bring their homework from last week?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with that. What I would like you to do is speak nice and loud and share with everybody in the group what you colored or what you drew or what you wrote or what you hope to be in the future. So who would like to start? Yes.
Okay. I drew a banner for my cafe, Chloe's Cafe with yummy treats for all. It's named after my mother, Chloe, and then me graduating from high school.
Okay. Who would like to go next? Yes.
Whenever I grow up, I want to be a photographer.
Photographer. Okay.
You do?
Do you want to take people or
Like
scenery
sites.
or all of it? You don't know? Cool. Okay, what else? Yes.
I want to graduate and go to a good college.
Okay, good. Next. Yes.
When I grow up, I want to be an NFL.
Ah, okay. And last.
When I grow up, I want to open up a tumbling class in like a tumbling stadium thing in New York, and Mackenzie Johan is gonna work with me, but only Saturdays because she's gonna do her day job, a nurse, being a nurse.
Ah. Okay, so do you remember what the whole point of this little activity was last week? Does anybody remember? No? Well, okay, so we talked about things that make you unique, that make you special, that make you different than everybody else, make you stand out, okay? So the one thing, we talked last week about things that you guys had in common. Remember, some of you danced and cheer, like football, and then we looked at the things that you guys had in different. And if we look at what you presented today, all of you have different plans for what you want to do in the future, right? Nobody had the same exact thing, right? So again, that's just showing you how everybody's different, everybody's unique, and we all have certain things about us that make us special, right? Okay, so go ahead and put the other paper on top, and we're going to end our little self-esteem group with a little group activity today, okay? So, don't worry about that. So notice how there's a big empty space here. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you work in small groups to start with. So the two of you are going to be in one group, and the three of you will be in one group. Do you have a question?
Yeah. Where's the pencils?
You were supposed to bring a pencil.
But I was in the back.
Okay, so the first thing that I want you to do, and if you don't know how to spell the people in your group's names, you need to ask them so that you spell it correctly. But I want you to list the names of the people in your group, just 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. Just write their first names down.
So I write my name. We write our own.
Write
names
your
too?
own name and your group members. And it doesn't matter what order, but if you don't know how to spell their name, make sure you ask them. Sorry, just write it. Don't worry about it. It's okay. I'll just use time. Okay, so while you're doing that, I'm going to read the directions at the top of the paper. It says, write the first name of each of your group members in the space below. So you already did that, including your own name. Okay? Next to his or her name, what you're going to do is you are going to come up with a word that describes something positive about each other, but you all have to agree on it, okay? The trick is the word that you use to describe each other has to start with whatever letter your group chooses from the envelope, okay? Now, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna have the two people sitting closest to me. You're gonna close your eyes and you're gonna pick a letter, and whatever letter comes out on the square, your job with your group is to come up with as many words as you can that describe each other that starts with this letter. But it has to be positive stuff. It has to be complimentary stuff. Okay? Yes.
So like, we want as many as we can for each person, or whatever.
Well, there's
we write
going to
down
be a
is
little
for all of them?
time, no, for each person. So you want to go through and make sure that everybody has at least one before you start doing 2 or more. But there's going to be a little time limit, because otherwise we'll spend all afternoon trying to agree on a name. So there is going to be a word. So there's going to be a little bit of a time limit. Okay? So get one for each person in your group, and then if there's still time, you can go back and see if you guys can decide on another one. Okay?
And how's this gonna help?
Well, because what you're doing is you're showing each other the positive traits about yourself and how other people see you as positive, as well as having to come up with positive things about yourself. Okay? Now, before we start, I have a question. Do you think it's going to be easier to come up with something positive to say about yourself, or something positive to say about one of your group members?
Something positive to say about our group members.
Yeah? You think it's going to be easier to come up with something good to say about each other instead of yourself?
Because if we say something about ourselves, then it's going to be kind of a little selfish. Because we're saying, oh, I think we're this, and then...
But that's okay, right? That helps build our self-esteem and our value and our worth, right? Okay, so I'm gonna give you about 3 minutes. Okay, so you have to, as soon as you get the letter, put it down like between you, and you guys have to decide. So for example, they have to think of one word together that would describe her, and then another word that would describe her. But they have to be positive, they have to be complimentary, and they have to start with whatever letter you pick out of the envelope. Okay, so close your eyes, reach in, and grab just one. Make sure you only have one. Okay, close your eyes,
Can I look at it?
grab one,
Can I look at it?
show your partner together.
Yeah, the G. Good.
Got D.
Okay, so starting now, you have 2 minutes to see if you can come up with a word that describes each person in your group that starts with that letter. And talk about it. You have to talk, you have to agree.
We're hang on.
Yeah, so
And
like
then
For you.
daring,
You could put
Good.
grateful.
dashing. Dashing means
Grateful?
handsome.
Good.
Um,
Good friend.
Put delightful
Really?
for Ariana.
What do you want, good friend? Grateful?
Okay, Ariana. Like
What does
that.
grateful mean?
Okay, what? Delightful.
So you
Oh,
like
no.
helping people?
Oh, thank you.
Does it have to be different for everyone?
Okay, let's think of another one. For
Has to
you,
be different.
great friend.
So do I just make up one?
No, you guys all have to decide on one together.
Delightful.
This Manuel, you gotta work together too.
Good.
Why don't you start with,
Something else?
alright, okay, so you guys chose delightful for Ariana. So everybody write that down for Ariana. I mean, not everybody, this group.
Oh,
You
what
guys
else?
both got one for each other?
Yeah. We're making choose.
Yeah, see if you can come up with another one.
What about Mr. Jake Jonathan?
I was gonna say glorious for you.
Dashing means handsome, you could put that. Daring, does he like to do stuff that's scary?
Football.
Okay, so daring.
No.
Or,
Okay, I guess we're putting dashing.
what
because
about
she's using pens.
people that, like dancers, they're graceful. That starts with a G. There's,
Dashing for you? Yeah, for Jake.
I want you to don't read the ones that we came up with because I think we did a really good job.
okay. You guys have 55 seconds left.
And we're done.
I'm not devilish.
Yes,
Not
you
positive. That's not positive.
You just put daring. You're flying.
Daring?
Throwing it in the air like that, that's pretty daring.
Okay.
Okay. 35 more seconds.
Mom, I think we're
Did
done.
everybody at least get one?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so let's share them first. So you guys are going to answer together though, because you decided on your answers together. So both of you are going. You say the person's name and then say the adjectives that you came up with.
I'll say you too. Topanga is gorgeous and she's a great friend.
Okay.
Elena, she's grateful and graceful.
Okay, very good. So graceful, grateful, great friend, and
Gorgeous.
gorgeous. Okay, now how did that feel?
Good.
Good to hear it from somebody else and even to say it about yourself. It felt good, right? Okay, let's hear what this group came up with.
Ariana's delightful.
Okay.
Kalaya B is daring.
Okay.
And
Jaquanathan.
Jaquanathan is dashing.
Dashing. So dashing, daring, and delightful. Okay. And how did that feel? Did it feel good to say compliments? Yeah? Okay, so there's 4 questions on your paper. Okay, what I want you to do first, before I keep your pencils down, because I want you to talk about the answers first, and then I'll give you time to write your own answers. So in the same groups, what I want you to do is I'm going to read the question out loud, and I'm going to give you guys 1 minute to kind of talk about it in your groups. But this is to help you so that you have something in your mind to write down when it's time to write it. Okay, so if you guys want to kind of, Jaquanathan, if you want to move back a little bit so that Laura and Chloe, you guys can all come together, and then you guys can talk. Okay, so again, 1 minute to discuss it, and then we'll move on to the next question. And once we get through all 4 talking about it, then you'll have time to write your own answers. Okay, so the first question, how do you feel about the words that were chosen to describe you? So in your groups, talk about it. Talk about how it felt to hear those words. You got 1 minute.
I think
It
that
felt
it felt
pretty
great
weird
because
to
then we
hear
were
those
expressing
words.
ourselves and how we feel
Compliments.
with other people.
It felt really good because I've heard no one actually comment on grade school. They said, oh yeah, you get the trip smooth, but when it comes to dancing, no one's ever told me you're in grade school.
How did it feel to hear that you're dashing?
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Why?
All right. That was too much time. We got to move a little faster. So number 2, were you surprised by any of the words used to describe you? If so, why?
I was surprised I'm a great friend because
I was
sometimes my
surprised
friend gets
that
mad at me because I hang out with other friends.
told I was daring.
I was
because
surprised
usually
grade
I
school
get
again.
really
No one
mad.
goes with it.
Was surprised when I got high school. Surprised when I got cold dashing.
Okay. Number 3, did anyone use a word to describe you that you would use to describe yourself?
I wouldn't use daring to describe myself. Yes.
I don't know.
I would describe myself in a different way.
Some people call me that I'm a great friend.
Actually, yes, I do. Grateful. Because I am grateful.
Okay, and question number 4, this is the question I asked you at the beginning. So now I really want, now that we kind of did this activity, I want you to think really about how hard or how easy it was for you. Is it easier to think of positive words to describe others or yourself? And why do you think that? So talk about it quick, you got 30 seconds.
I
Easier
think
to
it's
describe
easier to
others
describe myself because, like,
because
I can think of more words that start with D that describe myself.
it's easier to describe others because you're giving compliments like to other people and like not to yourself.
Okay,
Even though
time's up.
sometimes you need that.
So what you're gonna do now, you're gonna answer these 4 questions in writing, and you're gonna do this quietly because you've already had a chance to talk about it. So now I want you to write your own answers to these 4 questions, and I'll give you about 4 minutes to do this. They don't have to be complete sentences. Don't worry about all the spelling and all that stuff. Just write your answer as best as you can.
Right, faster. red pencils.
About 1 more minute. You've answered all 4 questions. I want you to give that paper to me. But I guess I do need you to put your name at the top. So put your name at the top and then give me your paper. I'm going to let you keep your coat of arms so that you can go hang this up in your room or put it somewhere to remind you of all the positive things about yourself, because that was the whole point of our group, right? To learn how to be more positive about ourselves and to help other people feel good about themselves, okay? Got about 30 more seconds.
We're lucky with these videos that we've been making that we never have to do again. Okay.
10 more seconds.
You guys always ask writer.
All right. Okay, so since this is our last time together, I just kind of want to recap everything that we talked about over the last 3 weeks, okay? We talked about, the first session we talked about positive self-talk. So who can remind me what that is?
Positive self-talk is when you're telling yourself, oh, I'm good at this. And,
So when did we talk about using self-talk, positive self-talk?
when you're flying, when you're,
What are you thinking in your head when you need to recognize when it's time to turn it around?
you're thinking bad thoughts about yourself.
Yeah, when you're thinking bad thoughts about yourself, you're thinking negative thoughts about yourself, that's when you have to realize and say, wait a minute, there's a more positive way to say this, okay? So that was the first thing. So when you're feeling like that, when you're feeling like you can't do anything, when you feel like something's not working, remember that positive self-talk. Change it around to a positive statement. Instead of saying, I can't do this, I'm never gonna get this, say, I can do this, I will get this, okay? We also talked about complimenting and being positive with others, okay? And today's activity really showed how much it can make a person feel good just to get one compliment from somebody, okay? We heard somebody say they hadn't gotten a compliment from someone in a long time, and it felt really good to hear that. So just like it feels good for you, it feels good for other people too. And so we're not just working on building our own self-esteem, we also want to build that in other people, okay? So how did you guys like the group?
Good.
Good. Did you take something away with it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, good. Well, take your coat of arms, hang them up somewhere, and I'm sure I'll see you around campus. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I think I cheated. 10 hours.